If Jesus comes today, will people talk about you or what you have been saying about Jesus the right way? Let us see the story of the Samaritan woman in John chapter 4, how after she met Jesus and spoke with Jesus, she had to run back to the city and call the people and that they should come and see the prophet. And when the people came, they listened to Jesus. They realized that everything they've been believing in Jesus because it showed that the woman was an evangelist. That's why the people could easily run to come and meet Jesus. Why? A prostitute cannot just come and tell you people, the whole city, come and see Jesus, and everybody just runs. It shows that she was an evangelist and she has been preaching about Jesus. And finally, when Jesus came, because you could see how she was talking about the Lord, she was talking about the mountain, she was talking about the well, and all those things. And finally, when she went into the city, she went and called everybody, come and see the person I have been telling you about. I met him personally and he's given me a prophecy about me, about my whole life and everything I've ever done. And the people came easily. Why? Because she had an influence on the society. So when they came, they listened to Jesus speak and they believed in Jesus. Why? Because their minds were already prepared and they were ready to see everything that the woman was seeing. And when they saw it, what did they say? They said that now, let me see, that is in John chapter 4, verses 39 down to 43. They say, and said unto the woman, now we believe, not because of thy saying, for we have heard him ourselves, and know that this is indeed the Christ, the Savior of the world. You see, will people believe you? Will people acknowledge what you have been saying as a preacher, as an evangelist, when they finally see Jesus? This woman was saying everything she said about Jesus. These people saw and saw more. Most of us, people don't believe when they encounter Jesus themselves. What happened is they don't see a link between what we are saying and what they have experienced. That is why sometimes a Christian, somebody will really come and you know about this Jesus and you were doing the things you were doing. It shows that there is a problem with you. That is why it is necessary to have an intimate relationship with God. When you don't only settle to knowing about Jesus, what happens is you get an intimate relationship with him, and you're going to know more of him because you are going to dwell with him and the two shall become one. We need to leave the place of knowing about Jesus, of hearing of Jesus from other people. It is very necessary for us to listen to people. Yes, it is necessary. But when you listen, what happens? Let a hunger be stirred in you to get to know more about these people. I am talking to you now. Oh, you have heard there is intimacy. But what Cynthia is saying, let me get to know him. How can I know about Jesus? I have to study my Bible. I have to pray. I have to know God personally. I have to communicate with him. Learn how to communicate with God, how you communicate with your earthly father. Get to know some intimate things, some personal things about God and how he relates with his children. Get to know about your will, get to know about the will of God, get to know about your purpose, the reason why he sent you on earth. Are you walking in it? And how can you develop a more intimate relationship with God? And it's really going to help you to become the best, so that when people look at you, they're going to say, just like how they told the disciples of Jesus, when these people saw them and be behaving like Jesus, what did they say? They were called Christians. Why? Because they behaved like Jesus, that spoke like Jesus. Because when Peter was preaching, they realized that Peter was not educated, but Peter spoke so much and so much wisdom, and the people realized that he had been with Jesus. Will people acknowledge your relationship with God, what you have been saying, when they finally have an encounter with Jesus? We have to be very careful. That is why we have to walk in the will of God, so that we can be obedient to everything He says. Don't preach what you think, preach what Jesus asks you to do. Don't preach what you think, but preach what Jesus asks you to do. Ask yourself this question: will my preaching, will people link my preaching to what they are going to see when they have an intimate relationship with God? I pray that this is going to keep us on the lane and help us to build more intimate relationship with God. God bless you, and see you at the top.